"I am a cop." Jackie Chan's defiant shout in Police Story isn't just a line, it's a declaration of intent. Police Story wasn't just another Hong Kong action flick. It was Jackie Chan's revolution against formulaic kung fu cinema. It wasn't polished choreography, it was raw, bone-shattering reality. Behind the glossy stunts lay chaos, shattered glass everywhere, near-fatal injuries, destroyed sets, and a crew pushed to the brink. Studio execs doubted him, insurance agents panicked. Even Chan's own life hung in the balance more than once. Today, we're diving into 20 weird facts about Police Story, 1985, the hidden disasters, casting chaos, and production miracles that turned it into one of the most dangerous films ever shot. And just wait for the bonus fact. It reveals a truth even Jackie's hardcore fans rarely know. Stay locked in, because this ride doesn't pull its punches. 1. Jackie Chan nearly died during the mall stunt. The climax of Police Story features Jackie sliding down a pole wrapped in decorative lights inside a shopping mall. What audiences didn't know? That stunt almost killed him. The lights were supposed to cushion the fall, but the electricity overheated them, making the metal pole scorching hot. When Jackie slid, he suffered second-degree burns, a dislocated pelvis, and nearly severed his hands gripping the pole. He fell through glass panes at the bottom, cutting his arms and back. Crew members rushed him to the hospital immediately after filming. It wasn't Hollywood wirework, it wasn't CGI. It was Jackie gambling with his life to capture the most breathtaking finale Hong Kong cinema had ever seen. 2. The entire mall was nearly destroyed. That shopping mall climax didn't just hurt Jackie, it nearly bankrupted the production. Director star Jackie Chan convinced a real Hong Kong mall to let them stage the destructive finale. What management didn't expect was the sheer scale of chaos. Hundreds of glass panels shattered, escalators broken, storefronts wrecked, and lights ripped down. The destruction cost hundreds of thousands in repairs, and the mall owners were furious. Rumors suggest Jackie had to personally smooth things over with a massive payment. The production team even joked that they shot a kung fu classic and a demolition derby in one go. The wreckage was so total that some shopkeepers reportedly refused to rent space afterward, believing the mall was cursed. Not a staged set, but real retail carnage. 3. The film was Jackie's rebellion against Lo Wei. Before Police Story, Jackie Chan was stuck in restrictive contracts under Lo Wei, a former Bruce Lee director. Lo Wei wanted Jackie to be the next Bruce Lee, forcing him into formulaic kung fu roles that stifled his creativity. Jackie eventually broke free, determined to prove he could forge his own path. Police Story was his rebellion. Not another martial arts fantasy, but a gritty, contemporary action thriller mixing comedy with bone-crunching realism. He designed it as a counterattack to Lo Wei's old-fashioned approach. By smashing buses, malls, and glass towers instead of staging sword fights, Jackie reinvented what an action movie could look like. Police Story wasn't just a film, it was Jackie's declaration of independence, cementing his identity as the anti-Bruce Lee who would define his own genre. 4. Maggie Cheung suffered real injuries. Maggie Cheung, who played Chan's girlfriend May, wasn't spared from the film's brutality. During one scene, Jackie accidentally pushed her too hard, causing her to crash headfirst into a metal table. She suffered a serious head injury and required stitches. On another occasion, she was forced to endure multiple takes of Jackie smashing her through glass, leaving her bruised and shaken. Unlike Hollywood productions with strict stunt doubles and union protections, Hong Kong cinema demanded actors endure physical punishment alongside the stunt crew. Maggie, who later became one of the most acclaimed actresses of her generation, later admitted that Police Story was one of her most physically grueling roles, and she wasn't even a stunt performer. It highlighted just how unforgiving Jackie's sets could be, even for non-action stars. 5. The bus stunt was almost a disaster. One of Police Story's most jaw-dropping sequences involves Jackie stopping a runaway double-decker bus. What audiences never realized was how dangerously wrong it almost went. The stunt required stuntmen inside the bus to be flung through its front windows when brakes were slammed. But Jackie hadn't been told that the bus had safety glass instead of breakaway panes. When the stuntmen crashed through, they hit unyielding glass with brutal force. Miraculously, the glass cracked just enough to give way, but the men suffered severe bruises and lacerations. Jackie was horrified, knowing the accident could have killed them. Still, the dangerous take made it into the final cut because it looked so raw and real. Once again, the line between accident and artistry blurred, at the cost of human safety. 6. The courtroom scene was a real pressure cooker. The opening courtroom sequence in Police Story looks straightforward, a legal drama before the action erupts, but behind the scenes, it was a nightmare. Dozens of extras were crammed into a sweltering Hong Kong courtroom set with no air conditioning. Tempers flared, and several extras fainted during filming. Jackie Chan himself was frustrated because the production fell behind schedule with constant retakes. He later admitted that the quiet dialogue scenes were more stressful to shoot than the dangerous stunts because the atmosphere was suffocating, the extras were restless, and the tension bled into the cast's performances. Ironically, the Yaoji suffocating environment helped give the scene its edge. You can feel the courtroom boiling over with hostility, not just scripted conflict, but real heat and exhaustion, and authenticity Jackie often valued more than comfort. 7. Jackie did. His own car chase, Stunts, the chaotic hillside car chase where Jackie clings to a speeding car and narrowly avoids death, wasn't a trick of editing. Jackie Chan himself did every move. Without seatbelts, without doubles, without CGI, he hung from a moving car as it barreled down a steep slope. The crew expected disaster. The hillside road had no barriers, and if Jackie slipped, he would have been crushed beneath the wheels or flung into a ravine. Crew members were seen visibly panicking behind the cameras. Jackie insisted on multiple takes until it was perfect. What audiences saw as thrilling entertainment was in reality a fight against death every second. In Hollywood, this would have been shut down by insurance companies. In Hong Kong cinema, it was just another day on set. 8. A call sheet accident left crew members hospitalized. One of the lesser-known production mishaps occurred not on camera, but in the scheduling chaos of a massive stunt day. The call sheets were misprinted, and dozens of crew members arrived at the wrong location, only to be redirected to the hillside chase shoot. Exhausted and dehydrated from the mix-up, several collapsed on set during the long hours under the Hong Kong sun. Jackie Chan, furious at the mismanagement, stopped filming to personally ensure water and shade were provided. This incident never made the papers, but within the industry, it became a story of how brutal Hong Kong shoot conditions could be. It wasn't just the actors risking their bodies. The crew often suffered in silence, their sacrifices hidden behind the glittering chaos of Jackie's on-screen spectacle. 9. The Glass Kingdom production. One thing that makes Police Story unforgettable is the sheer amount of glass breaking, doors, windows, shelves, entire storefronts. Jackie Chan wanted the audience to feel the impact of every fight. But here's the catch. Hong Kong productions couldn't afford Hollywood's expensive breakaway sugar glass. Instead, they used real tempered glass, thinner than usual, but still razor sharp. The result? Every smash was a genuine risk. Stunt performers walked away bleeding after almost every take. Jackie himself admitted, "There was more blood on the set than in the script." To make matters worse, they needed hundreds of panes, meaning the set looked like a glass factory every morning. The aesthetic was unforgettable, but the cost in cuts and scars was enormous. 10. Chan's perfectionism led to dozens of retakes. Jackie Chan wasn't satisfied with good enough. For him, every stunt had to be flawless, timing, impact, and camera angle. That meant dozens of retakes, even for dangerous sequences. One infamous moment involved Jackie running across rooftops before leaping onto a moving vehicle. He made the jump repeatedly, injuring his knee and spraining his ankle, but refused to stop until it matched his vision. Crew members begged him to compromise, but Jackie famously replied, "If I die, I die. But it will be a good shot." That relentless perfectionism defined Police Story and also nearly broke his body. And before we move on, go ahead and like and subscribe, because the next 10 facts will show you just how wild, dangerous, and chaotic this production truly became. 11. The police station explosion was real chaos. One of the film's most explosive moments is the police station shootout, where desks, glass, and props erupt in total mayhem. What audiences didn't know is that the set itself became dangerous. Jackie Chan insisted on using practical explosions with real squibs, not controlled pyrotechnics. When the charges went off, debris flew unpredictably, striking extras and damaging cameras. Several stuntmen walked away with bloody cuts and burns. Jackie, already nursing injuries from previous stunts, was nearly impaled by a flying chair leg. The director in him refused to cut the sequence short. Instead, he kept rolling, believing the chaos would look authentic. He was right. The scene became one of the rawest depictions of police violence in 1980s Hong Kong cinema. 12. Jackie broke tradition. With a modern setting before Police Story, Hong Kong action films leaned heavily on period kung fu epics, temples, robes, swords. Jackie shattered that mold. He deliberately set the story in the urban present, with cars, malls, and modern criminals. Industry insiders told him audiences wouldn't accept it, that they wanted historical escapism. Jackie ignored them. He wanted action grounded in the streets of Hong Kong, where neon lights and high-rises replaced mountain temples. The gamble paid off. Police Story redefined Asian action cinema, influencing not only Hong Kong, but also Hollywood filmmakers who later borrowed its gritty urban aesthetic. Jackie's bold move wasn't just about setting. It was about creating a new language of action, one where the modern world itself became a weapon, not swords and staffs, but glass, steel, and concrete. 13. The stunt team called it the meat grinder. Jackie Chan's stunt team, known as the Jackie Chan Stuntmen Association, were legendary for their loyalty. But even they admitted Police Story was the most brutal shoot of their careers. They nicknamed the production the meat grinder. Every day meant new injuries, concussions, broken ribs, burns, deep cuts. Safety nets were rarely used, padding was minimal, and most stunts had to be reset from scratch after destruction. Jackie led by example, taking the worst risks himself, but the toll on the team was staggering. Some quit mid-production, unable to handle the punishment. Others stayed, driven by loyalty and pride. When you watch the film's bone-crunching fight scenes, you're seeing more than choreography. You're seeing the sweat, blood, and literal tears of a team willing to sacrifice themselves for cinematic immortality. 14. The film nearly bankrupted. Golden Harvest. Golden Harvest Studios was one of Hong Kong's biggest production companies, but Police Story pushed them to the edge. Jackie demanded real buses, real malls, and real destruction, all of which came with massive costs. When accidents damaged property beyond the budget, Jackie reportedly used his own salary to cover expenses. Studio executives panicked, warning him that the film could sink the company if it flopped. But Jackie gambled on himself, refusing to compromise the spectacle. His instincts proved right. The film became a box office smash and a cultural milestone. But during filming, executives hovered like vultures, ready to shut it down at any moment. Police Story wasn't just a risk to Jackie's body. It was a risk to the entire Hong Kong film industry's financial stability. 15. The famous umbrella stunt was improvised. One of the most iconic images from Police Story is Jackie dangling off the side of a moving double-decker bus, clinging only to an umbrella. What fans don't know is that this wasn't in the script. Jackie spotted the umbrella between takes and decided to try it. The umbrella wasn't reinforced. It wasn't tested. It was just a regular prop. He leapt, grabbed it, and prayed it wouldn't snap as the bus gained speed. That split-second improvisation became one of the defining images of Jackie's career. 16. Police Story was meant to rival A Better Tomorrow. In 1985, Hong Kong cinema was changing fast. John Woo's A Better Tomorrow was redefining the crime genre with guns and melodrama. Jackie Chan knew he couldn't compete with slow-motion gunfights, so he chose another path: bone-crunching stunt work. Police Story became his answer, proving that physical comedy and death-defying realism could outshine bullets and blood. Industry insiders doubted the gamble. Some critics even predicted Police Story would flop compared to Woo's stylish crime sagas. Instead, Jackie's raw, physical spectacle carved its own lane and became just as influential. Years later, Hollywood directors, from Edgar Wright to the Wachowskis, cited Police Story as a bigger influence on action choreography than Woo's films. Jackie wasn't just keeping pace with the industry, he was rewriting the entire playbook for what action cinema could look like. 17. Jackie's hands never recovered from the film. The infamous mall pole slide didn't just injure Jackie in the moment, it left permanent damage. The burns and deep cuts across his hands never fully healed, leaving scars that fans can still spot in later movies if you look closely. Crew members recall Jackie's hands being bandaged for weeks, yet he returned to shooting almost immediately, refusing to delay the production. In later interviews, Jackie admitted he lost some sensation in his palms, a constant reminder of the price he paid. It wasn't a stunt gone wrong. It was a career-defining sacrifice etched into his body forever. Every time audiences gasped at that scene, they were unknowingly witnessing the moment Jackie gave up a piece of himself to push action cinema further than anyone thought possible. 18. The comedy was just as important as the pain. It's easy to focus on the glass-shattering stunts and brutal injuries, but Jackie Chan had another mission: making people laugh. Police Story wasn't just about danger, it was about blending slapstick comedy with raw action. Scenes like Jackie juggling phone calls at the police station or bumbling through a stakeout weren't filler. They were carefully crafted contrasts designed to make the action hit harder. Not punches and laughs separately, but together, in rhythm. Jackie said, "If you only fight, the audience gets tired. If you only joke, the audience gets bored, but if you mix them, they never know what's coming." That fusion became Jackie's signature style, copied endlessly in later Hollywood hits, like Rush Hour. Police Story wasn't just an action film, it was a comedy disguised as a war zone. 19. The outtakes became legendary. Today, every Jackie Chan movie ends with outtakes showing failed stunts and painful injuries. But did you know Police Story was the film that started that tradition? Jackie wanted audiences to understand the risks behind the spectacle, so he included behind-the-scenes footage of botched takes, falls, and accidents in the end credits. It was revolutionary. No other Hong Kong filmmaker dared show mistakes. But Jackie believed it deepened respect for the craft. Instead of seeing flawless movie magic, audiences saw the bruises, the blood, and the laughter through pain. It became his trademark, humanizing the superhuman. That choice not only built his legend, but also influenced Western filmmakers who began adopting the blooper reel style for comedy and action films alike. 20. The film made Jackie. A global star before Police Story, Jackie Chan was famous in Asia, but struggled to break into Western markets. Hollywood executives didn't know what to do with him, often sidelining him in failed projects. But the sheer spectacle of Police Story changed everything. International audiences saw the film on bootleg VHS tapes, in underground screenings, and at festivals. Word spread. There was an action star unlike anyone else, doing the impossible without wires or doubles. The film's international buzz led to re-releases, dubs, and eventually Jackie's full-blown crossover in the 1990s. Police Story wasn't just a Hong Kong hit, it was the foundation of Jackie Chan's global empire. Without this film, there might never have been Rumble, In the Bronx, Rush Hour, or Jackie's lasting Hollywood career. Bonus fact: Jackie was told the film would end his career. Before filming began, studio execs and industry veterans warned Jackie that Police Story would ruin him. They said audiences didn't want modern settings. They said destroying malls and buses was wasteful. They said the stunts were reckless and would kill him, or at least bankrupt Golden Harvest. Some even told him, "If you make this film, you won't work again." Jackie ignored them all. He trusted his instincts, even if it meant risking his career, his finances, and his life. The gamble worked. Instead of ending him, Police Story turned him into a legend. But the irony remains. The film that nearly destroyed Jackie Chan was the very one that immortalized him. Police Story wasn't just another action movie, it was Jackie Chan's declaration of war against the safe, the formulaic, and the ordinary. It left him scarred, nearly dead, and almost broke, but it also gave the world a new kind of cinema, a cinema where laughter, pain, and chaos collided in unforgettable ways. So the next time you watch Jackie crashing through glass, dangling from a bus, or sliding down that burning pole, remember, what you're seeing isn't just action, it's sacrifice.